Welcome to 30-Minute Reviews. I am Adam. As you can probably tell by my voice, I'm still not 100% back to where I was the last episode. I got sick and completely lost my voice for like a week. Now it's starting to come back. So I figured I would take this opportunity to do a quick PSA. Saying we're going back to our regular schedule starting next Thursday. Which is why I'm going to do this quickly. This is going to be kind of self-serving. Number one, I didn't do a Black Friday episode this year. I like to do a Black Friday episode. We're talking about all the cool things that are on sale. But it is now Saturday, and the ship has sailed on that. I did get a bunch of cool stuff yesterday. Target had a sale on board games. I picked up Seven Wonders. I've never played it before. That's going to be cool. Barnes & Noble, the sale's going on for the entire month, and I think going into December, too, based on the sign I saw in mine. The Criterion Collection is half price. Now, what the Criterion Collection is, for those of you who don't know, is it is a collection of movies with the director's approval, plus a bunch of other bonus stuff. So, like, interviews with the cast from the time the movie was made. So if you pick up, like, Some Like It Hot or something, you're going to get cast interviews with Marilyn Monroe and Jack Lemmon and all these people. All About Eve is in the collection. I picked up 2 Kurosawa movies, Seven Samurai, and I picked up this one actually like a half hour ago. I'm currently in my car. I also picked up All About Eve. Kurosawa's Yojimbo. Which is, you get an HD, you get a documentary about how the movie was made. It's all this kind of cool stuff. Some will come with books like Slacker, which is going to be this week's movie. All this kind of cool stuff that you get with these, and it's half price. Now, again, we don't get any commission for advertising that. Barnes & Noble doesn't sponsor the show in any way. But I like the Criterion Collection movies, so I just want to let everyone know that this sale is available. And like last year, we talked about what was the movie that came out? Cold War, which was one of the top contenders for Best Foreign Language Film. That's now in the Criterion Collection, if you want to see that. A Raisin in the Sun. I'm trying to think what else I see. Videodrome from Cronenberg. The original Godzilla from 1954. There's so many movies in this collection. 100% worth checking out if you're a classic movie fan. And you probably know about this already, but this sale half price. I got these 2 movies for $15 each. One for 20, one for 15, and then your rewards will stack on top of it if you have a Barnes & Noble rewards card, which is very worth it. So definitely check that out if you're looking for that, because that's a sale. It's not exclusive to Black Friday. It's been going on for the entire month up until this point, and it will continue going on until the foreseeable future. The paper that they had the sign on said November, December, so it could be going through the holiday season. My Barnes & Noble doesn't have a person who works in the movie department, so I couldn't ask them. So it's going to be it should be going through, but I'm not 100% certain on the end date for that. But as of right now, as of today, it's still running. Today's Saturday. So definitely head out and get those if you're interested in classic movies, with a bunch of really cool commentary and behind-the-scenes things. It's like if you're into foreign language movies, they have a lot of those. Now, on a more personal note, Duet just came out on Thursday of last week. The sequel to Swan Song, the final book in that series will be coming out in April now. Now, I did put out a tweet about this, but it wasn't very clear. I'm going to put up a blog post. I'm going to link it on the Twitter account at AdamTaylor792. The Twitter account for this, by the way, is at 30minreview. I'm going to go on there and I'm going to tweet out more concrete plans for 2020. As of right now, what we have going is every month from February to November, I believe, or maybe October through November, is a 10 quote-unquote issue series. Dreamscapes will have 1 issue a month. Now, that's going to be on Wattpad. I've used Wattpad before once for a short story that was tied into what was it? That other one, The Depths of Winter. But this is going to be the first full series on there. If you don't want to use Wattpad, I am not going to leave you out in the out in the rain. You will be able to get it on iBooks when I figure out how to do iBooks. I got plenty of time for that. On top of that, I got other cool things coming down the line. I have both Swan Song and Duet are coming to the Nook store December 8th. They are also going to be coming in a hardcover format and a softcover format on that day as well. And they're going to have an exclusive cover from Barnes & Noble, and that's going to be really cool as well. And again, I'm using that on my own. I'm doing the Nook author portal, so it's all about like me doing it. It's not Barnes & Noble sponsored or anything. They're not paying me. I'm doing it myself. But it is an exclusive cover to that. The same cover that's used on Amazon on Kindle devices will be used on the iBooks version, which should be dropping around that same time. I still have to figure out how to use the iBooks author app on my Mac. But that's going to be happening. So now next year, on top of that, that book coming out, the series is coming out once a month starting in February. On top of that, we also have 3 book releases next year. April, we have The Muses, which is the end of the Swan Song trilogy. That's the first one coming out in April. Then in August, we have Excellence, which is a distant prequel about Victoria's character. I'm really excited about that one. And then in December, right after Christmas of next year, we have In the End Infiltration, which is a sequel to In the End, which came out last year, I believe. Yeah, last year. So, a lot of cool things to look out for next year. As of right now, that 10 issue episode series that's going to be coming out for Dreamscapes is going to be a one-off. If there's enough support for it between Wattpad and iBooks, I may do extra episodes of it, because I really love that world. I really like what goes on there, and it's really interesting. And if you haven't read Duet yet, which would be I would assume the majority of people at this point, I've been told by people who have read it that it's got the Long Halloween vibe, like Batman's The Long Halloween, It's about vigilantes and it's about superheroes, and it's written as a screenplay. So check it out. It's a quick read. It's really kind of interesting. And then the next one goes like insane. When we go to the Muses, that's going to be insane, and it's really fun. So we'll look out for that. And until next week, next Thursday, we're back on our regular schedule. We got a ton next week. We got Tales from the Dark Multiverse in DC. What do we have? I talked about Death of Superman, and I talked about Nightfall, which means we have the other ones, the Blackest Night and Final Crisis. We have Flash Forward number 3 came out. We have issue 1 of Legion of Superheroes from Brian Michael Bendis. We have Slacker. We have News, the new Star Wars trailer, which I don't think we ever addressed, but we'll talk about that again if need be. The Star Wars shakeup, what's going on with The Mandalorian. All kinds of cool things coming on Thursday, so check back in for that. And I apologize again for not having episodes the last few weeks. As you can still hear, my voice isn't 100% back, but hopefully by Thursday it'll be back 100%. So until then, have a great rest of your week. Oh, one more thing. Beware of spoilers. We'll be back with. We definitely are going to be doing Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. That was a foregone conclusion based on the fact we've done every other Star Wars movie with one of these. We're going to be doing that. We also are going to be doing Knives Out, possibly tomorrow. Not 100% yet. Might be doing Knives Out tomorrow. Might be doing it on Tuesday morning. We'll see what happens. And we'll see what else is coming out. Ford versus Ferrari. Ford versus Ferrari is also in the can. So we got a lot of things coming still. So the back half of this year, I got a few more things too. The details haven't been hammered out yet, so I can't really say 100% it's happening or not, but it's looking good. So look out for that too, and if that happens, there'll be a tweet about it, and then I'll start teasing it over the course of the coming episodes. So until then, have a great rest of your week. We'll be back with Slacker and a bunch of other things next week.